Now, the rest of the story.
Welcome back, guys. So this is my second day of harvest for myself. First farm that we'll actually have completed to 100%. The other farm that we started on was more of a panic operation, just because last Monday. I think they were calling for Friday, Saturday were the days that they threatened us with 1 to 2 inches of rain initially, and then another 1 to 2 inches of rain overnight. And I have that corn bottom that is prone to flooding. I mean, it takes a lot of water, don't get me wrong, and just the way the weather forecasts were coming in, I was worried that, well, it means we were going to get a lot of rain in a short amount of time, and even though the ground is dry and most certainly could use it, I was worried we're going to see a lot of runoff depending on how fast it came down, and you know, lose about 1/3 of my corn that was down there. So we ended up packing up, got all my dad's stuff done at 2:30 in the morning. So Dad is completely done, and we ended up moving up there about 8 o'clock. By the time we went through and got everything serviced, and everybody went home and slept for about an hour. And overall, sitting pretty good. The rain did slow us down, but it came fairly slow. I mean, we had a little bit of heavy showers where it washed my driveway a little, but not like to a terrible degree. And we are working on Ryan and I's stuff right now. It's up in the air as to where we're going to go next. If we're going to go do one of Ryan's fields tomorrow, because he has bin space for 1/3 of it to a half of it. So it would be nice to at least be done with the bins, be done with the grain auger. So that way we can take that hammer strap hitch off the 4020. And for those that aren't in the know, the 7600 ended up going to the hospital. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And not really sure what it all is going to need yet, other than the fact that they did come back. The clutch packs, B and C. I'm not quite sure. I mean, they told me all this last week. They didn't pressure check well at all. So I'm kind of hoping I'll see the 76 back here to at least finish up fall work. As far as using it to haul, the 82 is taking up that place, which, you know, I originally was intending, hey, we're not going to use the 82 that much this fall, and at least mainly for tillage. And then what it come down to is, well, we need something to haul corn, and the 82 is pretty much the obvious and the only candidate we could use. So, which was fine. I think it actually sped us up getting corn hauled out, because Dad really didn't get ahead of me too much. I mean, everybody's saying that, yeah, the combine's going to be sitting for so long. We weren't pushing the combine very hard. I know we should be running 4 to 6 miles an hour, running 2.2. The reason we're running so slow is not because the combine can't handle it by any means, but this stuff is 17%, and I got the head slowed down all the way to reduce head shell. Head shell was actually pretty significant on that first field that I did last week, and we had to run a little bit faster because we had one of the row units was failing on us. The slip clutch was burned up. I mean, there was no teeth on it. It was done. So we kept slipping that outside row. So if the corn was tough at all, it it wouldn't pull the corn through the head. And then the rolls just kept wrapping too, because for the weather we've been having, it was nice, beautiful, like t-shirt weather, harvesting clear up, you know, November. But the one downside to these chain rolls, and it's not just these in general, it's all corn head rolls. When you got a lot of a heavy dew on the material you're trying to harvest, it just wants to wrap. So that actually slowed us down a little bit in the mornings. But overall, everything is going well. I mean, I know people want to see videos from me, but I'm going to be honest with you, for the next few days, I mean, any real videos you guys are going to get from me are pretty much going to consist of what you're getting right now. Sitting and talking, because stopping and trying to do the action videos, my brother is buzzing around here with the drone. I don't see much point in me trying to do action videos right now. I'm more or less just trying to tell you guys the facts, and the fact of the matter is yields are there. I mean, the stuff's drier than I thought it was, which I'm grateful for. 15% is dry. Ultimately, we're at the time of the year where it's getting harvested regardless, and it's a 40-cent drying charge to go from 20% to 15%, so I really wanted to avoid that as much as I could. And even though we're harvesting it dry, some of the big yield gurus will tell you that you have to be harvesting it wet to get rid of your butt shelling. Okay. And you'll see higher yields from harvesting it wet. Yeah, you'll have the extra drying, but you'll gain more overall yield. Well, at 17%, I'm running record yields right now. So I guess if I'm still gonna run record yields and I'm not gonna have another 20 or 15 or 20 bushels to the acre, I guess I'll be fine. So the big thing is the ground is a little bit soft right now from the rain. Really weren't super confident we were going to be able to run today, but we've also reached that point of if it's fit, we run. And I think we're half done on corn now. I think so. I don't really feel like doing math in my head at the moment. It's November, it's fall, it's winter conditions, could basically hit us any time. And according to the weatherman, it's next week. They're calling for lows in the low 20s and highs in the low 30s. And there's some concern about the ground freezing up to where we can't get any tillage done. But as of right now, I'm not worried about tillage. I'm worried about getting the corn out without having to fight snow. And the combine does an awesome job of allowing us to do that. I mean, we're making less passes through the field. Yeah, I'm only going 2.5 miles an hour, but I'm also outpacing the truck. So, and Ryan's doing a good job of, there isn't a whole lot of weight there when he leaves. It's down and back. He basically is going right through the elevator, so there isn't much of a line. But if we had more storage, that probably would have pushed us along a lot more too, but there's a little bit more variables you got to factor in, more marketing that you got to take into consideration when you have to sell it out of the field, because otherwise they'll just take it from you. They will just take it. That's pretty much what we're dealing with. When I locked in my basis here a month ago, it rolled over to December and they added another 30 cents under basis. So I guess the way you want to look at it is, I know I have to sell it out of the field. I made 30 cents locking it in a month ago. Doing more cash sales on my soybeans is going to be pretty standard, because I actually could have gotten a better price selling cash beans as opposed to basis on a basis contract. But it's one of those things that you just can't control, and you gotta take everything into consideration and then just roll with it. I mean, as of right now, I'm hoping we'll have everything covered as far as all of our bills and expenses and make our payments and actually chalk this down as a pretty successful year. Getting the tillage done for next year would definitely be nice, and it's a priority. But it's kind of hard to worry about that too much until the crops are out, because the crops are currently what's paying everything right now. So the planning for next year is to do all the tillage on the corn, obviously, because a poor job of tillage in the fall is still better, in my opinion, is still better than a perfect job of tillage next spring. We were dry, and that rain that we got definitely soaked into the soil, and it's going to carry us for a certain degree going into next year. And it all depends on like how much snow we get. And I think they're calling for us to get an unfun amount of snow this winter, which isn't great, because I don't want a whole lot of flooding for next spring either, because I do have my hay bottom, which I'd say is more prone to flooding than my corn bottom. But at the same time, I don't want to have to be sloshing around in the mud trying to get fertilizer and trying to get everything done. It just is unappealing to me. We get this field opened up. My average is still climbing, which I'm grateful for. And no, I'm not going to talk yields. I mean, some people don't care, some people do. Most people won't believe you if I told you what it was actually yielding. I mean, the problem is with yields, when you're asking a guy what his yields are, chances are half the time he's going to tell you more than what it averaged, and you'll never get an honest answer out of him. So we're definitely not in the low yielding part of the state or part of the country, so definitely grateful for that. But we'll have this field done. It isn't much. This is only, was it 13 or 14 acres. Problem is the ground is still soft, so we figured we could sneak in, get this out, give the rest of the ground that we have to go to tomorrow and the rest of the week a little bit more of a chance to dry out, and then it's not going to slow us down on running the rest of the week, as long as we don't get rained out, which they are calling for rain. So that's all I really got to say for this video, guys. I mean, I know my videos have definitely gotten dull, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got, and I hate to post the same thing day in and day out, because that gets boring even for me. But until next time, thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you later.